So it's been a while. Figure I'd give an update. I'm still alive. Um, very blessed again, still every day, always. More and more. The surety goes into that every single day. That I am blessed. We all are, to some degree. Some more than others. But just being appreciative of the blessings that we do have is what acquires our heart and mind the capacity to receive it when it's time. So, speaking of time, it's been almost 5 months since the last time I checked in and did a video. Last time I believe I was still in the campsite, loving every moment, every single moment of it. Which will be coming back here quite soon. The time in between now and then, I can say has been very educational, uplifting, building, edifying my spirit and my determination and drive, in which brought me to this place to begin with. So to further the path of this very epic journey, I have been blessed beyond belief during this time period. So kind of bring up to speed how I got about sitting in something that looks like this. Which you can't really see. That's all right with me though. It's anyway. I'm not in a tent. I do have electricity in here. So I decided one day to go and collect the pack that I had left at the Greyhound bus station in Billings at their depot. I was blessed enough to have it sent to here, to the Greyhound station, and it sat for 2 weeks while I was still at the camp and enjoying my life out there. And then one day I decided, all right, today's the day. And I put on 2 liters of water in my water bag and another knapsack, and let's go. 90 plus degrees outside. The mileage coverage is 23 miles. But I'm not unfamiliar with walking distances, but I'm very unfamiliar to this type of walking distance. These are not city blocks. These are not streets. These are mountain inclinations and descensions over a vast period of space. So I was inadequately prepared for this walk. I left at 7:30, 8 a.m. ish, and about 6 hours later, I finally made it to a rest stop and was blessed with a ride into town. Upon arriving here, I read the sign that says they're not open until midnight, and then they close at 5 a.m. I said, all right, well, looks like I'll be camping out here for a few hours. As I'm sitting there trying to recover, extremely extremely dehydrated beyond my knowing of what dehydration was. I was extremely dehydrated, brink of death probably, and not knowing it. As I'm sitting at this bench, which is also the city park bench for where people take the city bus when it's en route. Well, as I'm sitting there, I'm approached by a person and I share my smokes with them, and they apparently just see that I'm distressed or dehydrated or need could use what they're about to offer me. At the very least, the information. She asked me, "Do you know there's a shelter here that you could get a bed and a shower while you're waiting, and you can come back at midnight?" I said, "I did not know that. That's not why I came to this place. I didn't even know it existed." She was like, "Yeah, just get on the bus with me and I'll show you. It's the last bus of the evening, too." I'm like, "Okay, but I don't have any money." She's like, "You don't need any money. It's free." And I'm like, "Whoa, how did I catch the free day?" Um, where I come from, buses are you always pay for your transportation. Um, After double verifying that it was free, she instructed me when she pulled the cable and I got out to go straight down the end of the street and house on the right, big building on the right. So all right, what could hurt, right? And I go down here to this place and they stop allowing people to get checked in at 6 p.m. That's also when dinner is. I made it in just enough time, just a few minutes to spare. But surely enough, God blessed me with a bed, shower, food, warmth. Um, just, it was a blessing. It was great. Lots of water. That's how I knew I was dehydrated, because then I started cramping. My entire body started cramping up when I got into this building, drawing up like, ooh, badly, uncontrollably. I couldn't even use utensils. I couldn't grab papers or pencils to write with at moments of times. I'd have to force it out with my, it was just bad. Anyway, so upon surviving that little trip, amongst other things along the way that I may or may not get in detail of, just other little bonus features, I guess you would call them, of situations along that little 23-mile stretch down from where I was to where I was going. Anyway, um, yeah. So after getting here to this town, I go back to the Greyhound station. And at this time, it was not open. It did not open for a couple days, actually. For whatever reason, I do not know. Therefore, while I wait, I reoccur the sheltering program, mission, outreach place. And long story short, I've now been here almost 5 months in this town. I've acquired a pretty nice sized camper trailer. I've acquired much building and supplies, etc., needed to go to when I want to get to the destination needed. I've also acquired fully the transportation in which to get from here to the remainder of mileage of that needs to be covered with all of this, and then some more as well along the way that I acquire. I've also got another pop-up camper trailer that's on the right-hand side of me outside of this window here. That'll be more than likely going with me as well. The Lord is the greatest. He's not good, he's the greatest. Because if there's anything better than good, it's great. That's compared to anything to God, he's the greatest. So, because there's nothing above him. He is the greatest. Without him, I'd be nothing. This mission would be nothing. The whole, everything would be nothing. It would be futile, pointless. But that's not what it is. It's more than that. Yes, I still have my tent and all the other things that I brought with me down. I chugged along. Yeah, I can only say I've been blessed beyond imagination. As the Lord said it would, my cup runneth over in abundance. He's been more of my provider now in this time of life than I've ever could appreciate before. And I know it'll only get greater. Amazingly, I have notified a few select people that the message that I'm going to have to deliver in one big setting, pretty much a giant compile of everything that brought me here and etc., into one lump little pretty present. And when I notified people of this, that I was going to release it, the service in which I use my phone is a government funded phone service, meaning that I don't pay the bill on this phone, with an unlimited for life data text talk plan. Unlimited, throttled of data at a certain point, but still usable, still there, accessible. I'm over a year using this service and this provider, but many years of using this type of service program of phone service, and never, not once in its entirety, have I ever, could never, I could not, as of right now, load any data related application on my cell phone at all. Nothing. No data. I call the customer service in 3 hours of 2.5 of being on hold, speak finally to 2 different people, one representative, and I escalated it to the supervisor. The longest holds were from person to person contact. So the initial wait and then speak, and then the long wait and then speak. Was told that unless I purchase more data, connect to Wi-Fi somewhere, or wait till next month, even though I didn't get data this month. So those are my only options to receive service of data on my phone. How does that make sense? unlimited. I call the 611 number and it tells me my plan and the entirety of it, how many remaining minutes or no remaining minutes, etc. It says unlimited data plan, unlimited call and texting plan. You have unlimited left. But I can't get notifications. I can't send encrypted text messages. So the phone's natural built-in defense for sending messages is not valid. I have to tap the message and resend it as an unsecured text message before it will send. I can't look GIFs up or emojis that move or big sticker pictures, nothing. No data, nothing. So yeah. Weird, coincidental? Nah. Only if it was not because of the fact that I literally just got done speaking to a few people about releasing something that's detrimental to everyone. The Lord's blessed me with a place with stability and security until the season breaks. Once the season breaks, it'll be time to begin stage 2. And with me still being in the world and not even having access to the data now, there may be few and very, very far between points where I am updating anything once the season breaks. So, I guess this is my final hurrah in the world. Which I enjoy bittersweetly because I'm ready to go. I don't want to be here. But I know that when it's time, I'll know and I'll be ready. And way more ready than I was when I initially came down. Tenfold already. Beyond measure. And yeah, there is quite a lot of story to cover between these 5 months. At some point I'll lay out. Lots of lessons and blessings, let me tell you what. Some suffering. But you can't have blessings without suffering. So I'll gladly take the suffering. We'll speak more on that later. But I figured I'd give an update. I am still alive. The mission is still a go. Green light, soldier. Love yourself and love God. Love your neighbor. Stay tuned.